Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and we are here today. This is exciting. We are at Maple Street Biscuit Company, where we go live 2 or 3 times a week, and I am getting ready to hit the road today, going to Dallas. We'll be speaking this week to the DS Edge. You guys can still go to the dsedge.com, get tickets for that. It's going to be Thursday and Friday. We're going to have a fun time. Hey, listen, there's some good news that I want to announce today. It was fun this last week. Some of you guys may have seen the press release, but Maple Street was bought by Cracker Barrel. And this is a powerful situation here. You know, Cracker Barrel over the last few years have been trying a similar concept that just had not worked whatsoever. And they saw what Scott and Jackie and the guys all were doing down here in Jacksonville with Maple Street. And it's a phenomenal situation. And I want to talk a little bit because we live in this post-trust era where you can't trust anybody. Everybody's got their defenses up because of, I don't know, man, maybe because of the media, maybe of Wall Street. So, when you look at Main Street, it's like, man, who do we trust? What do we do? And when you look at the culture that Cracker Barrel has created, the way that when you walk into that store, when you walk into the restaurant, it is something where you feel at home. It brings back the nostalgia of a time gone by. It reminds me of when I go to Disney, actually, and the history of the world. They show a beautiful rendition from the turn of the century, the 1900s, up until the end of the 1900s. So it's pretty cool. And that when you go into a Cracker Barrel, that's what you see. But their value system there, what they accomplished there, is pretty cool. And then when you look at Maple Street and you realize that this is a company that believes in second chances. Matter of fact, I love that as being part of their value system at Maple Street, because here you can be a felon, you can screwed up your life, you can do whatever, and they say, hey, we don't care about your past, we care about your future. And they give you that chance. And I think these two companies together are just going to be stellar, man. This is going to be an awesome time. And I think it's companies like this and the collaboration between companies where they have shared values that we start to see an emergence out of this doubt, this mistrust that we have. For the legal teams, I guess I should disclose right now that Maple Street, Cracker Barrel may or may not share the same views or opinions that we do as we talk on the podcast, but the guys at Maple Street have been such dear supporters, allowing me to come into the podcast and do this thing live. So we feel pretty privileged on that one right there. It's pretty great. Also, guys, if you're on the Emerald Coast, let's not forget Mr. Freddie Sheets down at Allen's Cooling. You can run down there, get your cover up, get custom work. I mean, he's done all the custom work on myself. If you guys ever watch any of our videos, you know that. So it's pretty cool with what we've done there. Also want to give a shout out to the Social Networking Association. This is an association that is built for collaboration. It's another one of the supporters that I am so proud to have, because they live with this post-trust era philosophy that, hey, it's about us all coming together. And Jim Lipton, who is the executive director over there, literally has company owners. He has supporters, formulators, those teams that are behind the scenes on his board of directors. He has distributors on his board of directors. And when these guys meet, it's amazing to me, because they literally work together. They listen to the questions. This association has 35-year depth to it. Doris Wood, who started literally has passed the reins, if you will, the baton over to Jim. And he is really pushing this thing forward in a phenomenal way. And you're going to see over the next few weeks how we start to drive home different brands, different associations, different individuals who are saying, yes, I want to be part of changing people's doubt in a post-trust era. Because that right there in itself is a big step, and that's what I want to talk about today. So I want you guys to give a thought about this for a second. It doesn't matter if it's politics, it doesn't matter the world, it doesn't matter if it's Wall Street, it doesn't matter really even on Main Street. I mean, when you sit back and you just give some thought to this for a second, and I'm still coming down with this, I don't know if I'm losing my voice or what, but when you come down to it, guys, think about this. How many times a day do you see a doubting message either come across your social media streams? You see it in the media. You know, it's all a negative spin on things, and it doesn't matter what it is. And it comes to a point where it's tough to figure out, who do we trust? Is it the left? Is it the right? Is it the Democrats? Is it Republican? Is it Protestants? Is it Catholics? You know, is it Johnson and Johnson? Is it Merck? I mean, we just don't know. Do we trust regulators to take care of us, or do we not? And every day I think it gets to be harder and harder and harder. This weekend when I did the news, it was interesting because I had a guy use a word I hadn't seen in a long time. And he said, hey, you just do these so you can be relevant. You're an old man. He's a millennial. He goes, you know, you should get off the air. You don't have hair. The sun shines off your head. And I think through his comment, he later deleted it. But as I was reading through his comment, I got to thinking about that. And it's like, wow, you know, I am from a generation that a lot of the millennials, a lot of the Gen Z, a lot of the alpha that's coming up, they don't trust us because of all of the stuff that they've seen. Whether it's their parents, whether it's their church leaders, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, doesn't matter. And I got to thinking, how do we overcome this? How do we break through some of the doubt that's out there? You know, and that is, we've got to clarify our message. You know, the days of spinning the story, the days of trying to make it all up as we go, that fake it till you make it, 3-foot rule, all this kind of stuff that we've used in sales, all of the vernacular that you hear people use in churches. Oh, you know, you've got to get saved, you got to be filled with the Holy Ghost, all this stuff is causing us issues because the modern generation, these kids have not been in church. They don't trust people with these old messages. People are in a buying mode. They don't want to be sold to. They know what they're looking for. It's social media. They know they've got their friends, they got their Snapchat, they got all this stuff. This is what they're looking for. This is where they're going. And if we want to be able to break through this, then we've got to really hone in our messaging. Matter of fact, I'll use something that I just witnessed that's close to home. One of my dear friends and my baby girl's coach, Pam Kitchen, was up for Hometown Hero. And there's 4 or 5 of these folks over here at Flow Sports that were jamming it out. I mean, gosh, when you hear the stories, every one of them worthy of something awesome, you know, just powerful. But here was the key to this. She was ahead. She was jamming it out. Everybody was excited. And then a wrestling coach, for however he did it, I don't know, maybe they used bots, maybe they just had boatload more friends than Pam did. I mean, she's got the whole United States Gymnastics Association behind her. But here's where I'm going with this. Very quickly, what was supposed to be a powerful, positive situation started to turn south a little bit because we live in a post-trust era. All of a sudden, people were jamming it out, saying, well, wait a minute, we think there's some cheating going on. We think this, we think that. You know, it was the first time Flow Sports had ever gone through anything like this. I think it may be the first time that these types of hometown heroes have ever gone through something like this. I mean, it was truly starting to get out of hand. And an amazing thing happened on this. And this is something that this is how companies, this is how associations in a post-trust era collaborate and come together. You know, at the end, the wrestling coach and Pam, who's the gymnastics coach, were just a smidgen apart. And instead of just giving them one person $25,000 and being the hometown hero, Quicken Loans stepped up and said, look, this time let's do both. Let's do $50,000, give both of them $25,000 apiece. Totally amazing to see that happen. And that's what we have to do. If we want to live in this post-trust era, we got to get rid of the race, we got to get rid of the color, we got to get rid of the ethnicity. We've got to realize, hey, you know what? We're in this together. We all have the same end game. We all want to win. So when I went back over and I looked at this kid's comments, I just didn't respond to them. He had some other comments, phenomenal questions he was asking, some points that he raised. But when I looked at his doubt, I thought, you know, it's not worthy of responding to that, because I don't know what he's walking through and what he's going through. I know what my kids go through, and heck, half the time my kids probably don't trust me, because that's what they live. They see all this stuff that goes on in life. So today, we're going to draw this to a close. I want you guys to give some thought to this. Give some thought to what you see. How do you live? What are you living now? What is going through your mind every day in this post-trust era that we live in? Give that some thought, and then do this for me. Find a quiet place. Just find a place where you can chill a little bit and start going back and try to find out where you in your life started to make that shift. Where was it that you started to talk more negative than positive? Where was it that you were seeing the glass half full, half empty instead of half full? Because if you can dig backwards and find that point in your life, that's where you can start shifting back into the direction that you need to go. It isn't going to be easy, okay? It's going to be one step at a time. I catch myself doing this all the time, and I'm in communications. So you've got to be able to look at this and say, you know what, we're gonna go backwards a little bit. We're gonna push this thing to a place where we can move forward and say, okay, I'm going to push one thing today and look at it from the positive, not the negative. I'm gonna push one thing and try to change me, not try to change somebody else. And I'm gonna start looking and living and doing another little challenge. And I promise I'm gonna let you go. I sound like a preacher who gives you an ending point 3 times. Here's what I want you to do. Go through your social media streams today. And when you find somebody having a hard day, give them a positive message. Not fluff, not hype, nothing like that. Make it heartfelt. Let them know. And if you have somebody in your life where you actually have their phone number, they're going through a tough time, just reach out and give them a call this time. Don't text them, don't email them, don't social media them. Matter of fact, just FaceTime them if you want to FaceTime them, but make it one-on-one, make it personal. Guys, that's the name of the game. Break through and break out of this post-trust era. Again, we're going to be in Dallas Thursday and Friday up there. So you definitely should be coming to the DS Edge if they're there. If you guys literally want to learn what it takes to start a direct sales company, what it takes to take your company to that next level, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to have a great crew that's there, and you get some one-on-one time. And you know what, let me say that. When you look at the one-on-one time that the facilitators give you, and then you look at what their hourly rates are, that really makes the price of the ticket free, because there's a boatload of great folks there besides myself. And I came out weird. Not saying I'm great, I'm just saying there's some great folks there and I get to hang out with them is what it is. So we're gonna have a great time. Guys, stay humble, stay strong, and you've been listening to a voice in mainstream America.